It's going to be the Sacramento Kings tonight, 39-24-1. That is no fluke. That is hard work. And that is you guys coming in here being the sharpest chat I know, bringing winners, bringing the energy. Also, Squad Ride won. Providence, great. Fuck me. They win games, they cover games. It's fucking annoying. Mikey Over's coming on. Might have changed the odds. Maybe that'll change everything. Maybe I'll be a Providence guy. Maryland out to a fat lead. They have 75 votes already. And we're going to absolutely attack the college basketball card today. Winners only. All right, so we're Mormons tonight. We're going to be soaking with our winnings, okay? And we're 42-24-1 in squad rides. Dwayne Wade alley-ooping it left and right every fucking day. Let's go BYU. We're soaking in the winnings. It starts tonight with Manhattan, +5. The Jaspers, they get it done at home for the squad ride. Let's end the best fucking week we've had on this goddamn show so far, all right? Why not us?
There we go.
+115. Boom. You know why? Because I trust the squad ride and that shit prints.
What's good, chat? What's good? Shout out to Squad Ride last night. I guess we're a little short on time in the beginning, so we can hop right into talking about that. We got the Jen on for the beginning of the show. Jen, how we doing?
Good. I like that intro video. That's hype.
Yeah, we're gonna get an updated one, even though I guess we're not on the same stuff. But
yeah, a little too much Providence basketball for my blood. But
but
other than that,
maybe for a little bit. Josh, you can put up the squad ride graphic from last night. I mean, we kind of knew the second it was chirped pretty heavily that it was going to hit. You kind of know. The second somebody chirps the squad rides and don't know how they're picked or whatever, you know it's free. So Mets was probably one of the easiest squad rides in recent history. Shout out them, whole world and the Cubs. That worked. Federal prison for everyone. Who tailed that. So W day yesterday. Still some L bets though. White Sox under, painful. I don't know why they put in a lefty against that lineup pretty late. Blew that one by half a run. Rockies electric win. Shout out anybody who tailed. I guess Grichuk and Francisco Alvarez. Those were air. So yeah, pretty good day yesterday outside of that under. Jen, how was your day yesterday? Oh, I guess we got a head-to-head too. Yeah, I'm kind of pissed. We can just.
I went heavy on player props, and I didn't do very well. I think I lost like 0.5 units or something. But my only side came through. That was the Giants on the ML. I thought that was a little suspicious. Bullpen day. They were favored on the road against the Brewers. That was my only reasoning for that.
Yeah, fair enough. We do have the head-to-head. Shout out Krabs. Down 3-0. Might get his first win today. I'm down 22. We're going to need a legacy day from Trey Turner and Brian De La Bonds. Probably not going to happen though. So maybe Krabs gets his first win today. Let's. I'm not rooting against him. We'll see. We'll see about that. But yeah, we'll get pretty quickly into today because you got to go pretty fast here. So I want to hear what you like on the board first, not take up too much of the time here. So we can start going through there. You can screen share the some of the games, Josh, and Jen take the wheel for a little bit.
Yeah, we can start. I got another, round of player props on my board today. But the side that I'm on is going to be the Kansas City Royals. I know you're smiling. I'm certainly not thrilled or happy about doing this. I did take a break. I have been getting a little bit more disciplined in the MLB season. It's a long season. And my discipline started kicking in last year around July. I'm going to try to get a step ahead of it. So I have been better about not fading certain teams or betting on, bad pitchers, etc. Taking a little break from the Kansas City Royals, but I'm ready to get back in. I know that the Washington Nationals and Patrick Corbin are not necessarily a team that people are getting overly excited to bet on. However, they've definitely earned a lot more respect as of late in the public's eye, even though they just lost a series at home against the Padres. But I think that was a pretty emotional series, with Soto's return and everything like that. So I'm looking at Corbin, and this is not your 2022 Patrick Corbin, in my opinion. He's been pitching pretty well. I think he's given up 2 runs in his last 5-6 starts. I think you'll take that any time. I mean, even the Rays bullpen, or the Rays rotation, as good an all world as we are, I think if anybody goes out there, we'll say, hey, you give us 2 earned runs, job well done. So Corbin's been good. He's on the road. And I'm not saying that the wrong team is necessarily favored here, because can you really make the Nationals or Patrick Corbin a favorite on the road? Maybe not, but I got a bite. I got a bite on the Royals when it's a guy like Jordan Lyles, who is not good. Patrick Corbin has been good. And what's doing it for me is the Royals had the day off. So I just think it also makes baseball sense or sports sense, if you will. A team's at home and they're rested. The Nationals are traveling off of an emotional series. I don't think it's a good spot for them. Give me the Royals on the money line.
Yep, I'm with you. And I don't want to just echo you because I figure we're going to talk about it towards the end of the show. But yeah, I still think even with this line coming down, that opener is crazy. It takes a little bit of a bigger move to scare me off personally. So I'm with you. Can keep going here.
Yeah. I guess I don't want to do it. I really don't want to do it. But Javon, I think it's the Dodgers today.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. Now, I'm getting the same vibe I got with the Jays just recently when the Jays won. And I know that was a squad ride. I'm not trying to, bring up any PTSD or bad blood, but that just gave me a real bad vibe. And I'm getting that same thing here with the Rays as a Rays fan. Noah Syndergaard, Dodgers, good team. They feel like they're contrarian. I know the Rays, if the Rays were, I think, minus 140, I'd feel a lot better. I think minus 120 to minus 115 is not giving me a good feeling. And it's really because of Noah Syndergaard pitching. So I think everybody's going to line up and say, give me the best team in baseball at home, 24-5. I don't know. I mean, how deep are we expecting Beeks to go here?
Beeks is opening for Cooper Criswell.
Okay. So I don't think that's necessarily enough to really make anybody feel that cushy or comfortable or warm betting on the Rays against the Dodgers.
No.
But again, Noah Syndergaard is that outlier. And because has not been that good and he's not a pitcher that really attracts much respect, I think people are going to be lining up to take the Rays here at a very short price. And if they weren't a short price, I would feel a lot better. So I'm not playing it, but I think it's the Dodgers. And I think we got to talk about the total being 9.5 in the Trop. Like you said earlier, the Rays are going over by themselves. They're 8-2 in the last 10 to the over. The Dodgers are 7-3 to the over in their last 10. You do have to adjust. But I mean, as fans of the team and bettors who look at lines, seeing a 9.5 in the Trop is wild. So I'm not going to place that wager as well, but I think it's pretty telling. I think it's the Dodgers and it's probably the over.
Yeah, kind of with you. The game scares me. I've seen a lot more Rays today than I think I was expecting. Also, always lights a lamp in my head when I see a pretty terrible write-up on the Rays, which one of the things that I saw multiple times actually was that the Dodgers suck against lefties.
Yeah.
True, but Jalen Beeks is pitching for 2 innings, so immediately eliminates that possibility there. But yeah, that 9.5 total on the Trop too. I know it definitely is kind of a thing where you have to look at it and they're going over. Overs are printing no matter who they play, who pitches against them. So they're going to have to adjust eventually, but kind of seeing it for one of the first times here is still a little surprising. And our man Jad in the chat, best bets. We're on a different stream software right now because we got a computer issue, but once that gets solved, hopefully next week, we're going to have the normal graphics and everything up. So we're doing that. But yeah, I'm worried about the Rays a little bit today.
Yeah, and just to address Exceeded Walk's comment, this idiot wants a worse price. Just to clarify, as a fan, I want to see it at a worse price, not as a bettor, but that's why I have a bad feeling. If the books were giving more respect to the Rays, and Jalen Beeks at home against the Dodgers, it would make me feel better that the Rays might be winning. But because it's close to a pick 'em, that gives me concern that the Dodgers might be the player. I don't know if that makes sense. I think it does, but that's it. I just want to clarify in case it was confusing.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Okay.
Yeah, we can keep moving down the board here. What else you got?
So, I don't know that I necessarily, again, I don't feel good about the board's not really speaking to me. Somebody said wind's blowing in. I saw the ballpark pal. Somebody sent it to me. Could be a day for unders. I don't know that I want to do it, but I felt like the Fish were looking at me funny in LA against Reed Detmers. But then somebody told me there's a system in place about a team traveling off of course, which I did get a little familiar with last season. So you probably want to fade them and go with the Angels, but the Angels just swept the Red Sox.
Yeah.
They're 7-3 in the last 10. They're 15-10 at home. The Marlins are 11-15 on the road. I think they just played a 4-game series in Coors.
They did.
And Reed Detmers, I believe somebody told me he's coming off a really solid pitching performance. Or was it 2 games ago? Let's see. Outs. I was looking for K's. I thought he had a lot of strikeouts. Yeah, 2 hits and almost 6 innings against the Twins, 3 earned runs, and 2 earned runs before that against Cleveland. I don't know. I thought 135 was a little short. Just given after what we saw them do against a team like the Red Sox. I could be wrong here, but I was leaning Marlins and Jesus Luzardo. Do you have any interest in that?
I'd be lying if I said that price didn't seem a little strange to me. Not to the point where I can play the Marlins, because the Coors effect, like with the Marlins, would be pretty significant. I guess more significant than it would be for a lot of teams, because weirdly, like, you don't think of the Marlins as being this big kind of powerful offense, and they're not as far as runs go, but they get all of their runs from home runs. So you talk about them coming straight out of Coors, that could be a pretty big problem for them, which is probably why we see, even though the line of the game seems a little short, if you look at a lot of Detmer's props, they're all a little strange. I know somebody said, Nicky Gamble said earned runs set at 1.5, even with how good he pitched, or the outing that he's coming off of is a little bit strange. So I don't know how they're going to score too much today, unless it's just a Jorge Soler tank with multiple guys on base, to be honest with you. So
you like the under?
Yeah, a little bit. Especially, I mean, the Angels offense was pretty streaky in that series, but when they look good, they look great.
Right.
Especially if they have Moniak at the top of that lineup, they've looked amazing.
Right.
So I don't have any problem expecting minimal runs in this game.
Okay, I could get down on that under. I mean, I guess I could see. I would want to play. I would want to play the Marlins at a +1.5. I like a road dog run line for the walk-off aspect, but given that it's going to be pretty juiced, I don't know what it is. If it's like -160 or 70, I probably would prefer to play an under, expecting a tight game. But yeah, I just can't get over the Marlins losing 5 of their last 7, and Detmer's pitching well, and the Angels just sweeping the Sox, only opening -135. Felt like it should have been a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah.
So that's the only one I got my eyes on. And honestly, I mean, that's really it for me. The only other total that was speaking to me was this over moving up in Atlanta, 9.5 to 10 with Schuster and Taj Walker going. Talked to Phil Zutley on my stream just a bit ago. He likes the Braves team total over, which I could absolutely get down on. Maybe it's a little chalky. Nobody really likes or respects Walker, apparently. But 9.5 to 10 just seemed a little high. And I guess, he said isolated to the Braves because the Phillies offense has been so terrible. One guy I was looking at in this game was Trey Turner with a square up. He hasn't been very good, but I'm also not really in the business of trying to just bet on guys who are lost at the plate. So I don't know that I want to do that, but I did think that it raised an eyebrow for me. So it's either maybe going to play Trey Turner or play the Braves team total over.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. He is pretty lost at the plate, but I guess in some of the better matchups, which I guess against a lefty may not technically be it today, you can target him. I have no problem. I've been doing that spottily, I guess.
Trey Turner?
Yeah, I haven't been successful every time, but
fuck it, I'm gonna play it then.
Yeah, not bad. And yeah, everybody in the chat, we'll have some possibly some other guests coming on at the top of the hour, so you can relax for a little bit. But yeah, I'm interested. I do want to go through the PP board a little bit because I heard you.
Yeah, let's do it. I got some guys on my board, and I got a few more minutes.
Yeah, I want to hear what you got here. Josh, you can pull up the board, see some squares that are catching DeGen's eye today.
I got the first guy on my board is Josh Smith. And I know that correlates to you, as you mentioned, because you like the Rangers today. I cannot fade the Orioles. I thought I wanted to get involved in a total, but I'm all over the place. Saw Josh Smith was up. I always love a nasty guy with no profile picture. I guess you may have targeted this guy a few times last year. So do you approve of this?
Yeah, I'm going to be on it too, assuming that he's in the lineup, because I am on the Rangers because I do think their bats get to Gray Rod. I don't necessarily think that they're going to win a pitcher's duel. Not that it's impossible, but I kind of lean more their offense taking the reins here, especially after coming off a pretty disappointing series offensively, at least against the Pirates. So Josh Smith against Gray Rod is definitely a guy I'd be down to target. I hate targeting like all the corporate guys on the Rangers, like this year, the Adolis, the Seagers, and the Semyons.
Sure.
It's hard to pick one of them. So I like targeting the lower guys. Good matchup for I'll be on them.
Okay, so we go from a guy with no player profile picture that I had not heard of until today to a corp guy. But this is one of my biggest rules that I've just noticed from experience, as silly as it is. But it's like you're always a game early on a player. Yeah. Really, in a lot of sports, this tends to happen. But I took Fernando Tatis over bases yesterday. He was 1 for 4 with a single, did not hit. But he hit his fantasy score. He got an RBI, a run. I don't know if he stole a base or not, but I think I'm going to go back to him today. I think he's going to be my guy. He's my bend, don't break guy. And this just happened, if anybody's wondering. I bet Paul Goldschmidt to hit a home run. It did not happen. And then the very next game, he hit 2. So I'm telling you, this is just the way it goes. Tatis is going to be my guy today. And again, it might be corp. Don't really know much about the matchup. But give me over 1.5 bases.
I'm surprised you're fading the debut here.
I know. I like a rookie pitcher, but I don't think that's fading too much if you're not taking – it's not like you're taking the Padres and expecting them to get blown up. But how about – because he's a leadoff. So how about a little shaky first AB and then he gets settled in. Tatis leadoff double, but they get nothing out of it. That sounds nice to me.
Yeah, that could be huge. I wouldn't be against that. I'm pretty torn with what I want to do in that game, but
yeah,
who knows? I don't hate going to it. I haven't bet Tatis much this season, so I don't really have too strong of an opinion either way. But I'm down for the day early theory for sure.
Okay, do you want another corp guy I'm on?
Let's hear it.
Julio Rodriguez. Now, this is a guy that did come through for me yesterday, but I looked at his fantasy score. It's been 7.5. He's just gotten over this. 8-8 in back-to-back games. Had him over. They got him over bases, and he had, I want to say, 2 hits. Maybe just got there. I'm going to go back to him again, and I don't even think I'm getting greedy because he hasn't really been overperforming, in my opinion, in the last 4 games. So I think today's the day. I think we're due for a Julio Rodriguez breakout. In terms of the pitching matchup, I don't know if there's anything there because Keller's pretty good.
Yeah, Keller's great.
Yeah, Keller's been great. So I kind of think in a weird way, this is a spot where people aren't going to want to take any Mariners players. Batters, the total's at 7. It's pretty low, but I like the number on the Mariners, -155. I think that's the respect I want for the Rays. I think that's a good price for the Mariners. Again, there's this system in place people are talking about, which is scaring me that I don't want to bet the Mariners because a team off of a series with the A's has not been doing well. So I figured the way to do it is bet on a Mariners player. I looked at some gross guys, Taylor Turmel or some shit. Jared Kelenic, I think, was another guy. But I think I'm just going to go corp and give me Julio to come through again.
Yeah, that's a little more. It's not as corp because he's going to get Mitch Keller as a Cy Young candidate at the moment. So
that's what I'm saying, right? So it's like a corp name, but there's a blend. There's a little hint of grossness to it.
Yeah, I can get down with that. Is that the collective Prize Picks board for you today?
I got one more, and then I am going to hop off of here. But I'll end it with your guy that you turned us on to last season, Brandon Drury. Can he be the guy? Now I know we like the under in this game, and I was just saying that I like the Marlins, but I'm a sucker for Brandon Drury anytime he gets mentioned. Now I'm not keen on I don't have to play. This was a late add to my board, fit him in there. But I am wondering, do you approve it? Because Phil's brought it up.
Yeah.
You don't sound too confident.
I'm not necessarily. So no, I wouldn't say that. It's just because I'm scared for the run production in that game in general.
Yes.
So that sketches me off a little bit too. And I really worry about Luzardo's off speed. Like I think he's going to have to really hang it for Drury to have like a good matchup in theory, but I'm certainly not fading it. He's been seeing the ball a little well. He had that one stretch where he started to go really crazy, where we started betting him again. Then he got cold, starting to see the ball in good matchups against lefties a little better in the last handful of weeks here. So it's not a bad idea to target him. I hate that game targeting offensive props just kind of in general.
Sure.
So nothing wrong with Drury. It's just the game sketches me out a little bit. So nothing wrong with that. I appreciate you coming on and spitting some winners here. Helping
my pleasure, man.
Patchwork the show a little bit today.
All right. Good luck and have a great weekend. And good luck to the chat. I know they're really spicy today about something, but good luck. Can't wait to see the squad ride today and go Rays.
Yeah, of course.
All right, my man. Take it easy.
Yeah, appreciate it. So I think we're ready. 11:50, right on the dot here. So we got the men in chat, or not in chat, in queue, the new Wiley of the community. Just sit back and distance yourself and talk shit on Twitter. I think he's in the queue, ready to go here. You ready? There you go. You can bring him up. Bring him up, Josh. Let's get some Panthers and fives in chat. You're muted. Can't hear shit. Might want to hit the unmute button.
Yeah, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't see you. Might need a little light. There you go. Can
you see me now?
It's a little dark, but it'll play.
Yeah, it's sunny there. For Chelly's saying he's the one. You guys asked me to come on. I didn't ask to come on. So for saying that I'm using Booker to come on here, I couldn't give a fuck about that. So, and I'm not being the Wiley of the community. I'm just being. Everyone should be straight up. Krabs is never straight up, and that was my whole point. I never said anything other than that. You guys, not you, because you were never on last year when he was pulling up on Wiley. But he used to say, "Oh, Wiley posted -300." Well, the fucking idiot posted a Judge no home run last week -300 that didn't hit. So maybe we should talk about him, not Wiley.
Yeah, I mean, we certainly could. But let's start first to the people who don't know what you're doing now, because you're not here. Introduce yourself and tell them what you've been up to, because you haven't been away from the community. Just sitting back.
Yeah. I had some stuff going on there, so I left for a while. I was in Toronto for game one when the Leafs lost 7-3, so I was there for that. That was pretty cool. But yeah, I just I don't really feel the need to post plays anymore. Gone over that, so I just come on and speak my mind now and then that other people ain't gonna say.
So you've been on what, Owner's Box a couple of times, right? Are you like a part of that, or are you just going on as like a guest? Curious.
I haven't been on Owner's Box in a long time, man. I have nothing to do with that company.
Is there a reason for that?
No, I just don't have time. I don't feel the need to go on shows anymore or try to grow a following because it means nothing to me. So
it means nothing? Okay. So why'd you stop coming on Book It streams? We can leave Owner's Box to the side, but Book It streams, why'd you stop talking to that?
I mean, there was never any reason why I didn't come on. I was just busy, man. I had a job during the day and I stopped coming on streams daily and it just wasn't my vibe anymore. So I didn't come on.
Okay. So we can talk about that too. Why'd you retire and re-retire from gambling about 5 times?
Shelly, why did I block you? I never talked to anyone after the Leafs lost because I was in shambles. I never talked to Nikki, anyone. I just took a break, man. That was why.
Okay.
But I just don't I still gamble daily. I just don't feel the need that I have to post what I bet. I never said I was good.
Okay.
Or bad gambler. It's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is. So I mean, I'm trying to wrap my head around this. So like, kind of state. I mean, I've been a part of this a little less time than Krabs, and maybe your problem or a couple of your guys' problem is more with him than me. But
I don't have a problem with you. My only problem is when Krabs used to shit talk everyone in this community, VIP, Wiley for odds, all this shit. When he does the same fucking thing, I mean, let's just wrap your head around this. Wiley is no worse or better than him or anyone else. Everyone's giving plays, whatever. That's it. He does the same thing. If he goes 8-0, he'll be on Twitter in 10 seconds. If he goes 0-8, you won't hear from him till the next day. I mean, there's no sense people used to shit talk anyone. It's just, I'm just being realistic. I mean, you guys, when you win, it's fucking awesome. I mean, I know what it's like. When you win, you think it's fucking whatever, but when you lose, it is what it is. So.
I mean, yeah.
And I'm not turning on the community, Chelly. There's nothing to do with you or Book It. I hope Book It does well. I hope everyone does well. I'm not here saying I hope bad for anyone.
I mean, see, the whole I hope Book It does well thing is funny because you're talking about one of their two main shows. You said if they tail the community-led pick that's every single day, you should be in federal prison. So I mean, header on that first one because you're saying you want everybody to do well. So the thing that the community comes as a collective and picks every day. You said if you tail that, federal prison.
Chelly, I don't have a group chat. I just want to say something here. Chelly's trying to come at me here saying I have a group chat about Book It. I haven't been on Twitter or answered a text message that wasn't from my family in probably about a month ever since Toronto. I talked to the Owner's Box guys a bit, but for the last month I haven't talked to. Well, Chelly's the one who keeps on saying stupid shit that isn't real. So I'm just.
All right, so Chelly's in the chat. I'm in front of you. I'll ask.
Yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the funny thing about that is you talk about wanting the community to do good, but you shit on them constantly. So I mean, if you're talking about Krabs, doesn't make you any better than him. But also you talk about us and whether you're talking about the accuracy of the picks, which you guys talk about the squad ride, which is funny because it's all publicly tracked. You can go back to every post, every VOD, it's all tracked, as well as the odds for every single play. So you can look at that. So like if you're a guy who doesn't post picks every day, you've retired 6 times from gambling, re-retired, come back, whatever. You had the nuke of your life on what? The Leafs in game 5 or 4 or whatever, and that went pretty well, I'm guessing. You lost all your money on that. Do you feel like you're more qualified to host the show or post picks than us?
What is it? Sorry, I didn't hear the last part.
What makes you kind of think that you're in a position that you're better than any of us or more?
Did I say that I'm better than any of you guys ever?
You said if you tail the squad ride, federal prison. You've chirped the show numerous times, even when we going back to hockey. That was kind of the thing. You had the whole Owner's Box crew talking about us for a hockey play, and that continued throughout the start of the season. So if you're chirping somebody, you should have some grounds to stay on. So what's the story?
You guys ever chirp anyone else in here? You guys never chirped anyone before, eh? In here?
Oh, 100%. But I'll back it up and I'll say, hey, I'm on the other side of the play. I sit here and talk about the games every single day. I give my opinion. You're in the shadows. You deactivate your Twitter account 4 times a week. So like what grounds do you have to stand on to come in here and tell us?
The only reason I got rid of my Twitter was after the Leafs game. Before that, I'm a pretty diehard fan, as anyone that knows, and that's the only reason I never talked to anyone.
You deactivated it 3 times yesterday alone, so it's not just about the Leafs. I'll leave it there. But
you guys are clicking on my profile more than me, then, so that's great.
Well, that's because you commented about our show, and that was your first tweet in about 3 weeks. So clearly you're on your mind, and you got your buddies Renea and then Nikki Picks also commenting on the same shit at the same time. So
I don't even know those guys personally, but yeah, you guys know them just as much as I do. So
I don't, because that was your whole little OG circle with Book It. I'm new here, so I'm the one who's getting all of the shit constantly for really not being a part of anything. So that's what's super interesting to me, because
you think I'm involved in anything, then you are completely wrong, brother.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you have a problem with Krabs, we have a problem with the show. I'm the one that hears it every single time.
I don't have a problem with your show because I don't really watch your show. I was just making a comment. And I should have worded it differently. I shouldn't have worded the show technically, maybe, because a lot of the stuff is what he does, not what this Book It does. I don't really know what Booker does, but yeah, or Book It, sorry, Book It. But yeah, I'm just saying what he does is totally wrong. He used to make fun of people for doing it, saying they did it all the time. He does the same thing. I mean, people say that I have group chats. I don't even have Discord. I don't have anything. I've never been on anything in over a month. So that's what you guys are implying, and that's good.
So I saw another interesting comment that you posted yesterday too, because again, you're talking about it had nothing to do with the rest of Book It. You just said it only had to do with crabs, really. But you said you don't talk to any of them because you don't care about any of them. Do you feel like they owe you something, or since you've been away, you feel like they haven't been in contact? Like, what's the story? Because you're contradicting yourself about 6 times here. I'm interested.
I mean, the only reason, like I said, I never talked to anyone when the Leafs lost. I just never talked to anyone. I was just taking a bit, and I messaged everyone yesterday. I messaged all of them. I mean, I don't really care. I don't have a problem with any of them. It doesn't matter to me. I'll say hi, what's up. I'm not a coward. I'm not going to sit there in the dark. I'll back up what I say. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, personally, I would say, because I've talked to all of them, and there's not one person that will handle that and say the exact thing that you said. Not one person that'll reciprocate that same energy. So I'm curious to hear. So you want to say it on Twitter, you want to say it in front of a camera here, but nobody else is going to back you up and say the same thing. So I'm curious as to what notion helps you think that, you know, you're still cool with them, because you're not.
I'm not cool with who?
Anybody. You don't talk to anybody.
I mean, yeah, that's literally what I just said. I don't talk to anyone because after the Leafs loss, I met up with guys in Toronto. I didn't care. Like, I'd meet up with Trent and have a beer tomorrow. I'd meet up with Nicky and have a beer tomorrow. It's not that deep to me. I'm just saying what I feel. And I feel what he does is wrong, and people, whatever. So
what you guys,
you message me, I don't care. It doesn't.
Yeah, you did just say you messaged all of them the other day. So again, contradicting.
Yeah, I messaged them yesterday on Twitter if you want to see. I mean, man, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
If
all I'm saying is big aside, but yeah, it's just interesting. So you're saying what crabs does. Give it a firm definition of what your problem is exactly.
I mean, last year, everyone wanted everyone to be transparent and all this shit. Do you think he's transparent daily, every week? Is he transparent?
Absolutely. They're all publicly tracked bets.
All publicly? Okay. Yeah, but I agree with that. You're 100% right. He tracked every one of them.
Yeah.
It's funny
too because you talked about the squad ride record that's on a graphic every single day. It's literally at the bottom of the graphic, the record. You can check the date. You can check the VOD.
So, I'm happy for Chat. I'm happy that Chat's picking winners. Chat's great. I'm proud of them. They're
absolutely.
Doing good.
It's a community thing.
I'm proud. Like I said, I don't wish bad on anyone. I'm just saying, hey, I never said I was a good gambler. I never said I was a bad bettor. I never said I was good. Yeah, I'm not salty. I'm just being honest. Everyone used to shit on other people and make fun of VIP. Half the people that come on your guys' show or whatever are VIP. And you guys used to hate them and shit on them and say it's wrong, all this shit. Well, I mean, let's just be honest.
We don't do it. We don't sell
picks. No, you don't. I never said you did.
So what are you saying?
Other people you bring on your show that you used to hypocrite people that are VIP are on your show. There was just a guy on your show 10 minutes ago who sells certain things or whatever. I mean, you guys used to make fun of them.
Pretty much everybody. There is from the start to finish. I mean, even when there is back in OG, Surgical Stream.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying that. I agree 100%.
Yeah, the stance hasn't changed. Yeah, we don't like people who sell their picks. It's just a reality of the situation. So, I mean, some people, that's how they make a living. It is what it is. We're never going to do that. You're obviously never going to do that because you're a terrible bettor.
People and then have them on and then blah, blah, blah. I just think if you feel that way, you should feel that way towards everyone. They're doing notebooks, VIP, it's all the same shit in my eyes.
Notebooks? It seems like a targeted attack there, huh? I don't know many people with a notebook.
I'm just saying, I'm not targeting anyone. Like I said, it is what it is. I targeted crabs. I'm here to say what I believe, and that's it. So, all right, you got anything else? I'll move on with my day, and unless you got something else for me here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just I think we've got it. We've got it pretty good here. Because it is still interesting. Because going back to what you just said, you want the best for the community.
He doesn't charge for picks. Whoever wrote that in chat.
Well, you said notebook. He's the only one with a notebook, so you can
does he
hop off. You can hop off your hires at that point. But
does he charge for his notebook?
No.
Okay, then how would I be targeting him when I said people that charge?
Who has a notebook? You mentioned notebook.
People that charge for their notebook or their whatever the fuck Degen does. No shit.
Who has a notebook? He's the only one with a notebook.
Who? Degen?
No.
He charges for notebooks or whatever, doesn't he?
No.
Oh,
there's only one person with a notebook.
He doesn't have a service.
One person with a notebook, which is
does Fruity charge for it?
No, that's the point.
That's what I fucking said. If someone charges for, like,
I bet. All right. So wrap it
I'm
up.
not scared of fucking whatever. You can say whatever the fuck you want to me right now, dude. It's whatever. I don't care. I don't do this for a living. I'm just saying what I believe. So.
Well, what I'm saying here is you're on Twitter being a keyboard warrior for people who do this as a living. And
I'm not being a keyboard warrior. I'm right here in front of you, brother. And I'll say the same thing to you right now.
I'm sure you'll say it in person too. But you just sit back and chirp people. And you're a guy who is tired. Hey, you're on my show. I'm talking. Okay. I'll let you talk when I feel like letting you talk.
Yeah.
You are a keyboard warrior who's been sitting up here chirping the people who work very hard every single day. I don't give a shit whether you have a problem with crabs. I'm grouped in with this Behind the Line show. So I have to hear your shit every day. You're a group of 3 little guys, whether it's you, Renea, whichever brother that is, Nikki Picks, whatever the group you ask. I'm tired of hearing it. And obviously it's Twitter, so it's not like I'm going to do anything to stop you. But it's honestly sad at this point that this is all you have to do, whether you're going back, losing money from betting the Leafs, losing your wife's money, betting all that on random bets and shit. You're retiring, re-retiring, deactivating your Twitter account, getting back at it. It's sad. So, like, honestly, all of you who chirp behind the line.
At least I can use my real money at the end of the day to place my bets. I will appreciate that. I can use my
not
real
anymore.
money.
You don't have any real money left. So it's just sad. It's just sad. That's the funny part. I love it. I love it. I love it. There we go, Dubs. Panthers in 5 in the chat. Panthers in 5 in the chat. We'll be seeing them. We'll be seeing them.
God, that guy sucks.
He's a loser. That's what we love to see. We can get back to business, though. Josh, you can put back up the odds, and we'll start going through some of these games. You can go through DK. P. Hurl, there we go. P. Hurl, we love that. I don't have the Twitch chat up, but I'm going to assume that it's some sub banks. So Dub here. Dub here. We can cool down. What did I miss? DeAndre Hopkins released. Leafs and I bet. Yeah, we're missing some news. Token with the 5. I need sub bang updates because I don't have the I didn't kick him out, Shab. He left himself, by the way. Just so everybody is very aware of that. But P. Hurl with the 10. Let's go, Pat. No, that's a W right there. Yeah, I didn't kick Leafs out. He left on himself. He closed the app or closed the entire page of the studio because he wasn't even left in the queue. That's funny. Okay. Let's start going through the slate a little bit. We're gonna have POD Pete on, but he had a meeting kind of last second, so that's probably not gonna happen. So we'll start going through any of these games. We can cool down a little bit, chat. We can cool down a little bit. I want to hear what you guys like on the MLB slate in the chat. Start going through a lot of these games. Did talk briefly. Yeah, probably. I think he did reactivate it. But we'll see how long that lasts. Talked about a couple of these with DeGen pretty early on. We can start with the Cubs game. Josh, if you want to chime in here too, feel free. But we got Justin Steele on the mound against Hunter Green. Probably a really premier pitching matchup here. And you got the super low total, one of the very few 6.5s we've seen stick really the entirety of this MLB season, even since the beginning. I know we had one open 6.5, but it kind of ended 7, I believe. First game of that Mets series, possibly. But now we see one stick, and I believe it might have went down too. It was briefly at 7. Yeah. So Justin Steele, your boy.
I was looking at the Prize Picks board, and there's nobody up for either team. And usually when there's no Cubs up, there's no runs. I would just take the up in this game.
Really?
I mean, they got Dansby and Nico's fantasy up. That's normal, but they have Wisdom at 0.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, I saw that, and then I know he didn't do anything yesterday, like the whole rest of the Cubs lineup, pretty much. But Morel off a base.
Yeah,
after the way that guy's been hitting.
Well, it's either 4 or 0.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, you're better off taking that guy's home run prop.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, him up for half a base. I know it's heavy wind, so that's the reason for the low total. And you got 2 really good pitchers on the mound, but I don't know. I kind of lean Reds in this game, if I'm being honest with you.
I would lean them over us, especially the price change. We were minus 165.
Yeah,
I would guess that we'd be minus 180 today.
Yeah, it has. The price has come down a little bit, and the Reds have been pretty terrible, especially like Reds against lefties used to be a big thing last year, and they're pretty terrible against lefties this year. Bottom 10 of the league in pretty much every category, and Justin Steele's been amazing. So
Yeah.
I know Hunter Green has been good, probably not as good as preseason expectations. I wouldn't be surprised if he shoves against the Cubs.
Yeah, I would definitely
2 days in a row, though.
I would definitely lean them over the Cubs, but I think my favorite play in this game would just be the under. I think that this game's going to be like 2-0, 2-1, something.
Yeah, it's a good point by Nick, too. I guess the wind blowing in definitely helps Hunter Green a lot more than it probably helps Justin Steele. So
For sure.
not a problem there. Yeah, I like that. Like that. Glad you're on the same side. Don't know if I'm gonna pull the trigger though, unless I'm just bored for this day game.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see.
Kind of gross game.
Kinda is. But we'll leave it there. We'll leave that game there.
All right, I'll get out of here.
Yeah, you got it. White Sox Tigers. This is a weird game. This game kind of ripped my heart apart yesterday, which kind of sucked. We had that the under 8.5. They brought in Aaron Bummer, which again, I don't know why they would bring in a bunch of lefties to face the Tigers lineup, especially the part they did. It made absolutely no sense. And they gave up a lot of runs there, which kind of sucked. But today you got Lance Lynn, righty, fastball dominant pitcher as well, going up against the Tigers and Joey Wentz. This is a game I really don't know what to do with. I'm not going to lie. This is a tricky game. I don't like backing Lance Lynn, especially when I think a lot of the Tigers hitters, even though they're much better against lefties, there's a couple interesting guys, interesting matchups that I kind of like on their side. So I really don't want to fade the Tigers. If anything, I don't know. I don't know what I'd do. I don't want to go back to the over either. I do think there'll be some runs, but it's probably going to be in bunches again. Like I expect there to be a pretty big inning and maybe not much otherwise. So I mean, let's anybody in chat got anything in this game? Because this game has put me in a pretzel about 50 times. I know our man Seagod said Tim Anderson run. I don't hate that. I'm not a good Tim Anderson better, so I'll probably stick it out. But yeah, if anybody has any leads in this game, I'd be very interested to hear them because this is a really tough game. Not after yesterday. Stay away. Luis Robert. Yeah. Luis Robert is literally the only guy that has a really good matchup. Joey Wentz pitching for his career. Yeah. He's just so bad. So bad. I can't stand it. Under or dog and pass. First 5 over, maybe. Robert probably Court, but I love him today. Yeah, can't blame you. Tigers TT under Nick. Not too mad at that. Yeah, but screw that game. To be honest with you, not a fan of that. Next, we kind of touched on this game a little bit. It is Robert. Yeah, I forgot about that. Everybody's shitting on Krabs for talking about Robert, and that's actually how he said he pronounced it. And Krabs is at I think his sister, cousins, or somebody's graduation today. So he's out today. Kind of knew that ahead of time, but we move. Still got games to finish. Still got plays to make. Still got prize pick squares to cook. Sister's grab. That's what I thought. That is what I thought. Yeah, it might be the only name he gets right. 100%. Who's running Surge Stream? I don't know if there is one, to be honest with you. Not sure. Josh, if you know, you can chime in. But Shelly, there we go. Shelly W Stream. I'll make sure to stop by there. Dodgers Rays. We talked about it a little bit with the Gen for those who are in here, but the Rays are super corp today, and it scares me. It really scares me, to be honest with you. And that total coming back down too. I hate that. Now that it's 9.5 down to 9. Fading Noah Syndergaard, I think you have a pretty good shot at doing it with a lot of individual props. Yeah, Charlie knows ball. I bet, man. I bet. Need you up here to cook the first inning hits, man. Need you up here. But yeah, that's super corp. Rays look today. It scares me, to be honest with you. Fading Noah Syndergaard, like I said, with individual props, should be a pretty good look. I'll probably be taking Wander today. I'm not going to lie to you. Don't think like this plays. Come on, 15 minutes for okay, dubs. Yeah, Wander Franco should be a pretty decent look. possibly because of the stolen base aspect. If he gets on base, he's going to steal a base. I haven't even looked at his odds to individually steal a base. I don't really take those, but if he gets on base, Syndergaard has been a stolen base machine for really his entire career. And if he does allow a lot of foot traffic, which even if the Rays lose this game, I think there's going to be some decent foot traffic on the bases. If he gets on base, he's going to be stealing. So I do need to see the lineup first for the Rays. Like always, they're one of the very few teams that I feel like super compelled to always see the lineup before a game because it's so drastically different. I'm not sure of the status of Yandy Diaz because, like I always say, I'm very hesitant to bet on the Rays in any situation without Yandy Diaz because their offense is so different. It's almost like the Astros and Altuve. So I need Yandy Diaz in there. I would really hope that Wander's hitting behind him. I would love to see Christian Bethancourt, who also could be in the reins for a pretty good day as well. So I want to see some balance in the lineup today. But especially if Yandy is in, I will be a little less hesitant about backing the Rays in some form. Shelley is definitely a full-time streamer. And yes, Macy, Yandy is so slept on. I know I'm obviously a pretty biased Rays fan, but I think he should be more in the MVP conversation than he is. If you look at a lot of his numbers, they're some of the best in the league. He's the best hitter WRC plus wise against right-handed pitching, or at least was very recently in the league. He's unreal, dude. He's absolutely unreal. Rangers O's. Yes, our man Escobar in chat wants to talk about this game, and I do too, because this is, again, a game that I went back and forth on, and I think I landed on the Rangers here. I like John Gray. Grayson Rodriguez in his debut, actually, that was when he debuted his first start in Texas against the Rangers. He got shook up in the first inning a little bit, but really settled in, I believe, through 5 strong after that first inning, or maybe 5 including that first inning, but rest of that outing was pretty solid. So now I come back today. John Gray has been pitching really good recently, but it's been kind of on the heads of a lot of really good matchups. I believe there's some against the A's, the Rockies, I think the Mariners as well, who are terrible against right-handed pitching. So I don't like to back a guy who's been so good, but it's also been good against a lot of dog shit teams and dog shit offenses, to be honest with you. So the thing here, I do like the Rangers. I like their bats against Grayson Rodriguez, especially second time around. And I know the Rangers and John Gray, I believe he pitched really well first time around as well. So maybe there's some regression coming for both of these guys. I don't hate that first 5 overlook because I do think there's going to be offense in this game, but really the Rangers bats, I think, stood out to be a little bit. Because in that game, you could tell kind of second time around that Grayson Rodriguez made a significant adjustment onto how he attacked a lot of these Rangers hitters. And that's when they kind of got shooken up. So first time around, they barreled up a lot of baseballs, which, yes, those were the guys, first couple innings, and he was facing one of the best offenses against right-handed pitching in the league at the time, and still now. So I didn't expect him to come out and be, lights out from the jump, but I think we're going to see some more of that today. And he's been kind of shaky since that point, I will say. So, fading him may seem a little obvious, I guess you could say, but at this plus 105 price that keeps coming down, I'm going to, I think, stick with the Rangers. Anybody, I know I saw our man with the first 5 over in this game. Let me know what you like in this game. Michael Harris has been so bad for the Braves this year, and he's up for a hit run RBI with juice. Interesting. G-Rod pitching for his life in the bigs. Yeah, kind of. They're going to give him some time, though. Rangers F5, Orioles full game. Texas Pen is bad. Yeah, you're not wrong. Not wrong at all. There's definitely this is one of the most lopsided bullpen matchups, I guess you could put, with both teams being upper level contenders. I guess you could say that. Really, the only terrible bullpens, I guess, out of the really good teams right now are the Rangers, and I guess the Rays are terrible right now, which is crazy. So that's really interesting. O's winning. O's fan. Yeah, I'll take my chances. Padres, Yanks. Really interesting game with Randy Vasquez, I believe, making his debut. Correct me if I'm wrong in that chat. Randy Vasquez making his debut against this Padres lineup that has been extremely disappointing. Even in really good matchups, like we took him against Trevor Williams, a guy who was, look at his numbers, due for an unreal amount of negative regression. and they couldn't do anything other than, the Odor tank. And I think Hassan Kim also had a tank, but really their offense was pretty dormant, especially from the top of that lineup for a majority of that game and really a majority of that series, aside from a couple innings last night and then a couple innings at the first game of that series. So this is a weird spot because the Yankees, I guess you look at like the splits and they're always going to be public no matter what. But this is Musgrove against Randy Vasquez. So I'm definitely tempted to get a little Yankees offensive outburst here. So I can't really decide what's kind of the sharp angle of this game. Not that that's the only determinant of the bet, but Joe Musgrove is not a guy, especially with the 9.5 total here, that really scares me against this Yankees offense. I'll be honest with you. And I'm not the biggest Yankee hater as far as I'm not Krabs, or at least Judge hater, but I might take Judge today. I think Judge has a really big game today. Somebody commented, I think it was in the Gen stream, that Judge selling the Millie entry 2 days in a row. Now he has a run square up, which when he's up for that, printing. So I do. You don't auto fade debuts, Kobe. You don't auto fade debuts. Debuts are actually profitable, just not when you have a guy making their debut on the road. Today's in Yankee Stadium, which granted is a hitter's park, but not the same thing as taking a debut on the road, especially when you're facing a Padres offense that their floor is probably almost as low as anybody in the MLB. So that's interesting here. Yeah, Judge selling 2 million entry 2 days in a row. Yeah. Judge's run prop has almost been like Soler run prop type. I'll honestly take Judge fantasy. I don't really care to take the run. And yeah, he scored a run yesterday too. I believe the only one in the 9th. But he didn't hit his bases, didn't hit his fantasy. I don't think either. I don't think they really did anything because they're dormant the whole that game entirely. The Orioles shut them down. Kyle Gibson masterclass. But yeah, the run prop for Judge has been very profitable. So I might take a stab at Judge today for sure. For sure. Cardinals Guardians. This one is another game that I kind of hate, to be honest with you. We have Shane Bieber and Matthew Liberatore. The Guardians have just been so bad. And yeah, Drew, I do like his bases, but I don't know if he has that up on Prize Picks, so I'll probably take his fantasy. But here we have the guards who have been piss poor offensively, and they're going up against a lefty and Matthew Liberatore. I know a couple of people. I was talking with Peter a little bit earlier. I think DeGen also mentioned that they like the Cardinals. So it's tough because Shane Bieber, I can't really figure out how the books want to price him. They get him some respect in certain spots, but then you have certain spots like, I believe it was his last start against the Mets, going up against Verlander, albeit, but absolutely no respect. I think they're a minus 150, 55 in that game. So it was interesting. Yeah, Escobar, we don't mention Lowry, man. We don't mention Lowry. GG's. But yeah, this game is weird to me because I might have to lean baseball brain here. I initially didn't really want to touch the Cardinals. I was pretty anti-Cardinals because the Guardians being favored in this game maybe is still a tad strange with the way the Cardinals are playing. Even, you can discard the game yesterday because you had Arenado sitting out, Goldie sitting out. Very weird pitching matchup as well with the guys that were in that lineup. So exclude that game and even the walk-off too. I believe that was the day before. This Cardinals team is hitting well. And you got a lower total here, so I don't think they're going to go out and just absolutely shell Bieber by any means, but probably lean the Cardinals here with this continued little line move here. So I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that under two, real exclusiveness. Not a problem there. I do think, again, I think the Cards bats do enough here to kind of touch up Bieber a little bit, but I don't think they're going to shell him. And Matthew Liberatore definitely attacking the Guardians in their worst split against left-handed pitching, which they don't really hit anybody, but especially against lefties, they have been horrendous, which is real interesting to see. So probably lean under that game, maybe Cards. We'll see. Schnoz leaning the Cards. Bell, Naylor, Brennan up for hit, run, and RBI seems weird. That is weird. Phils. When Will Brennan's been up for hits, run, and RBI, I'll tell you what, he's been hit a tank. That's interesting. I will say, though, earlier in the season, when there were a lot of a specific team up on Prize Picks, it usually meant they're going to have a pretty good day. Now it's kind of meant one side or the other very drastically. Because there's been certain spots like, I don't want to use the Royals as like every example, but when they have a lot of guys up, they don't score runs. When the Red Sox have like their entire lineup up, they don't score runs. It's like it's very, extreme on either side. So I I don't have like a one-way approach for when a lot of guys are up for that now, but that is interesting to see for the Guardians specifically, who have been pretty piss poor against lefties. I mean, Josh Naylor being up against the lefty is certainly, that doesn't make any sense for me. Not necessarily that I'm going to take that. I don't even know if he's going to play, but that's a little strange. A little strange for sure. Have I already gone over the Rays report? Yeah, they kind of scare me. Need to see the lineup. Pete on the cards. Is he officially on it? Okay. Do I like the Rays over today? Yeah, don't have a problem with it. We can talk about the Phillies and the Braves here. Another game that's super tough. Probably leading the over here. I do think that the Braves bats kind of have their way with Taijuan Walker. Don't know the stats off the top of my head, but I can just remember off of memory. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, please. But they've seen him a couple of times, especially last year. Had plenty of at-bats and a good bit of success against Taijuan Walker, to say the least. So I do think the Braves definitely have their way here. Jared Schuster, too, again, another guy attacking the Phillies in their worst split. They've been pretty bad against lefties, kind of, I believe, bottom 5 still in the league. In the past handful of weeks, WRC plus wise against lefties. I do think they wake up today. I'm not a big Jared Schuster believer, but against this Phillies lineup too, I do think there's going to be guys who are bouncing back, even if we talk about kind of the guys who struggle against lefties from the left side, like a Bryce Harper or Schwarber. They can wake up. Castellanos has a great matchup too against Schuster. Trey Turner, been terrible against lefties, but I would really love for him to wake up. That would be awesome. And yeah, Schuster is not very good. Walker juiced to 15.5 outs and open 3.5 earned runs. Oh, so he's moving. So his outs are juiced the under, and the earned runs props are moving different ways, you're saying, Pat? It hurt you catching strays. What happened? Nah, he's just talking about people who are selling plays. I don't know. He was talking in circles. Wasn't talking in circles. Harper probably does the same thing he did to Dodd. Yeah, I will say I'm a little bit more of a Jared Schuster believer than a Dylan Dodd believer, to be honest with you. So we'll see about that. The bullpen too. We'll see who gets used out of that pretty quickly. Schwarber sitting 176 will wake up in the KBS, and yeah, he just might. I mean, the 176 comes with power though. So if we're talking about an over, especially in this game where I think there's going to be a lot of foot traffic on the bases, let's call it. That one, he can go 1 for 5, and it just be it's a 3-run tank. That would be awesome. CK, what's up, my man? What's good? Landers Air, we got some KBO bets already, man. Wild. June Schwarber is soon. He is soon. Freeze, I wish. And maybe Met hats. You do sell hats. There you go. Gambling hats are fresh. Blue Jays, Twins, Kevin Gossman, Louis Varland. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if the Twins score today. I think we get a masterclass from Kevin Gossman, and yeah, I'm probably a little biased. I'm not going to lie. I'm a big Kevin Gossman fan. I have a Cy Young ticket for Kevin Gossman that's looking kind of shaky, probably a little more than shaky after some of those appearances, but he's been pretty dominant in certain spots. I know he blew up against the Red Sox, I believe it was, in Fenway, but other than that, he's been pretty solid. But against the Twins today, I love his matchup against the Twins. And I think there's a definite reason we've seen this total go 8.5 to 7.5. Definitely lean the under. High opening K line, absolutely. I think he gets 10 strikeouts today, which I guess is not that much higher than the 8 flat that he's at. So I do think he masterclasses. CK, I see you. Appreciate it, my man. Wind's blowing it hard. Okay. That is definitely a reason why we see that here. Probably a continued a little move to the under here, but I do still think Kevin Gossman absolutely shoves against the Twins. With that being said, though, we do have to take Kyle Garlick. I have to do it. I don't know if the Twins score today, like I said, but not very often do we get Kyle Garlick up. Is he really? Oh, yeah, 1AB. But, yeah, I don't know if he's going to be in the lineup or what the story is there because he's usually a big platoon guy, but we don't get Kyle Garlick on prize picks very often. So I'm going to have to take him, especially since he's up against Gossman, who is not just any righty, but very dominant righty. So I have to do it. I'm sorry. It's not a play that I'm super confident in. I'll be real. I'll be 100% straight up. Not super confident in it, but it's weird that it's up. I got to take my goat, and I'll go to the grave with it. CK, my man. Yeah, let's see some garlics in the chat. But I will say I've been better kind of picking out, especially Kevin Gausman, like certain Blue Jays pitchers that have had really good spots, really good matchups to pitch well. But Blue Jays bets in general, probably the worst Blue Jay better of all time. So take that as you may. Maybe we'll have Lee's fan come back on and give his Blue Jays picks and fade them. But we'll see. I do think they play well today. I think it's going to be a slow game. But yeah, next one on the board too is why are there two different garlics? That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know if the brothers are coming on. They got the link, but we're probably past that. Patrick Corbin on the road against Jordan Lyles. Chat, can we do it? What's my normal size for prop bets? So I do, depending on the amount, I usually keep it, especially in prize picks, like a set amount per day. Like I cap myself at probably I don't know. Depends on how much I like the slate. If I like the slate, I'm going to push with a lot of entries. If I have something in multiple entries, it'll probably be $50 entries. If I don't, just keep it at 100. And then when I straight bet stuff in the book, which I also like to do to keep the bankroll up, I'll do a little like quarter unit if I'm spraying a bunch. That'll usually be what I do. You're thinking about taking the Nats. See, not that I'm fading you, Capwise Nick, but you are the king Patrick Corbin fader. You post the Happy Patrick Corbin Day, I think, or at least did every single time last season or early this season. And it's got people in piss, man. Faders of Patrick Corbin have been in piss because he has, I think, 4 straight quality starts. He's been nails. Absolutely incredible. So now we're at the point where, yes, this line has moved a little bit down, which I don't love, but Jordan Lyles in the Royals opening -130 at home against Patrick Corbin off of 4 straight quality starts, and the Nationals offense with as well as they've been hitting didn't make much sense to me. So as long as this line sticks at a pick 'em or higher for the Royals, I'm going to be on the Royals. I'm going to have to do it. I hate doing it. We did it a handful of times here. We've been burnt. But the one, I guess, good baseball reasoning, yes, criminal opener, Pat, 100%. One good baseball reason I guess you do have, Jordan Lyles, his real problem is the home run ball. Like, that's not a secret. Gives up barrels and hard hit rates at a insane rate, which is why he's been so terrible. The Nats don't hit home runs. It's really been there's like a handful of guys in that lineup. Like CJ Abrams has been a power supply at the bottom of the lineup. John Candelario has been somewhat of a power supply. Lane Thomas has his home runs against lefties every now and again, but we got a righty on the mound. So there's no real power supply for the Nationals. So if Jordan Lyles is going to be good in a start, I would like for a matchup like this with a team that doesn't really have much pop. Grabs, perfect timing. We're talking about Patrick Corbin. Today. But, I might just have to break out the trophy. And yes, I 100% know this. Royals haven't won a start when Lyles starts. 0-10. And he opens as a -130 favorite. I bet. Oh, and look at this too. Wind blowing it. Down 38% on home runs on ballpark, pal. Who does that help? Yes, it probably helps Patrick Corbin a little bit because he is prone to the long ball, at least was. But it really helps Jordan Lyles. So I'm excited about that. Do I have a problem with Rays team total or first 5 team total? No, I think they score off of Syndergaard. It's just I don't know if I trust Cooper Criswell necessarily. So that's fine there. But I got to do it. I think I got to do it with the trophies today. Burn people. I get it. If you don't want to join, but I'm going to have to do it. And yes, I did see the Lyles square that got removed. I did see that. It's because it was getting juicy towards the over, but so is Patrick Corbin. So I've been keeping an eye on those lines. That Lyles square opened at about -125 to the over 2.5 runs. It's in -140, I believe now. Josh, if you want to click on that game real quick, I want to see where that's at, the pitcher props in the Nationals Royals game. Because Corbin's also, he opened at like -135, and he's been creeping up as well. Go down to the earned runs. Yeah, so they've both been moving up a decent bit. They both kind of -125, -135, so they've both gone up about 15 and 20 cents. So I don't think Lyles is going to come out and pitch a 7-inning shutout necessarily. but I think he can do enough. He can probably go over that, and I'll still feel confident because Patrick Corbin, I believe, has given up 2 runs in each of his last 4 of those quality starts. 2 exactly, 2 on the dot. Last 5, add another one in there. Yeah, and he's minus 155 to the over against the Royals, who, I mean, the amount of times they have looked embarrassing at the plate over the last handful of weeks, I couldn't tell you, really over the whole season, but especially in the last handful of weeks. Kopech performance was disgusting, even though he has looked really good of recent. They've had some really bad offensive performances. And not that Corbin is probably valued as one of the best pitchers in the league, of course, right now, but to see that minus 155 to the over 2.5 makes you feel a certain way. That makes you feel a certain way. 7 hits, minus 130. That is, I will say that you can scroll up to the hits line too, Josh. This 7 hits, that hasn't really changed for Patrick Corbin. I'll say that. He is pretty consistently at these lines, even when he does have a good start, and he does give up a lot of hits, even if he does have a pretty decent start too. But that's good for the Royals, though. When the Royals, because I always say this with the Royals, their floor is about as low as anybody in the league, maybe ever. They're terrible. But when they're hitting the ball, that offense looks completely different. Not even just when they're, I guess, hitting home runs, which Salvi's been a big part of that. But when they get foot traffic on the bases, that lineup looks so much more respectable. So much more respectable. So, like, somebody said Salvi nuke. I love Salvi today. I love Bobby Witt today. Not a secret. 2 Corp guys. But I think there's a lot of room for a lot of those guys at the bottom of the lineup. If Maikel Garcia plays, he has been a sneaky wagon to drive runs in from the bottom of that lineup. So I know he has a square up. I'll be looking at him if he plays. But yeah, Safrin Fatty, I would love to see the lineup because they've been mixing it up a lot. But Maikel Garcia, if it kind of stays consistent, I will definitely be giving him a look. But Bobby Witt would be my Corp guy out of that. I'll be honest. Pasquantino, good today too. I don't really love him against the lefty, to be honest, but I think there's a lot of guys you can go to there. So now we got Alex Wood, Freddie Peralta, Giants, Brewers. The Brewers are coming off of back-to-back shutouts, I believe, of the Astros. So they've been playing really good ball recently prior to last night when the Giants took them down. Now we have a pretty different matchup here, which this is interesting. So the Giants obviously won last night. They had the slight pitching advantage with Julio Teheran coming back from, I don't know, China, wherever he was, Guangdong Tigers. He came back. He pitched for them. Didn't pitch particularly terrible, I'd say. Kind of tough to throw a guy in there. I know the Giants aren't the most dynamic lineup in the league necessarily, but you got a tough match for him to come back immediately and produce against a bullpen game. So thought the Giants were getting a little bit of respect there. Turned out to be on the right side of that one. Didn't play it, but now we see Freddie Peralta against Alex Wood, minus 135. Brewers really struggle against lefties, but not that these are one of the guys that are necessarily hurting them or killing them, but Christian Yelich actually has really good numbers against Alex Wood. I think I saw somebody else mention that in chat a little earlier. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that Brewers lineup hit up Alex Wood a little bit today, which, again, it's the Brewers lineup with a kind of a low total, Freddie Peralta on the mound. So how much do they really need to do offensively? You don't really know, but I do kind of lean the Brewers here. I think Freddie pitches well. This is a big get-right game for the Brewers. Not they've been terrible as of recent. Offensively, they have been, and they're coming off that loss against the Giants last night. So I'd be fine back in the Brewers here. Yeah, 14 for 35. Super surprising against a lefty. So that's I'm not a big BVP guy, but I wouldn't be mad at taking a little Yelich stab today because I do think they're going to have to score runs from somebody who scores or who genuinely is not the best against lefties. I got Nats at plus 100 last night. My CLV guy, we'll see. We'll see. Scherzer Seabold in course. You know, give me the Rockies ML. Give me Seabold ML in this one. Hate to do it to the Mets, but they are coming off of probably one of their most complete performances in this little stretch that they've been good. Which I guess, what do you call that, the last week and a half, 2 weeks? Mets system play? What's the system? and it might be a turkey fest. But thing is, I want to fade the Mets coming off of that game, but I also want to fade. I know the Rockies had a pretty emotional win, which I don't like backing them off of that. But they also, have had a couple games with real aces that have been really shorter lines recently in cores, and they've come out and shoved. Like Sandy came out, had a great game, I believe, in that matchup there. So I'm probably going to be taking a look at some Rockies here, maybe at least a plus 1.5. Haven't really decided what I'm going to go with in that game. Fading team going in cores. Certainly it's interesting here. First game in cores. Well, that would be taking the Rockies. Yeah. Fading a team going into cores while the Rockies are on a homestand. That's been one of the more profitable systems historically. So I don't know what what's the cap-wise system there. I don't know what that is. I want to be informed. Brewers, Mets, Astros, all to win boosted. Yeah, Seabolt. Yeah, but tell me what the system is, Nick. I'm interested. I'm definitely interested there because there's a lot of different things going on with this game. So I'll be super interested because if it is a system, it's conflicting with another pretty profitable system too. So I might have to go head to head with that one. The donation system. No, don't say that. Chase, man. The Stars just won, so I'll give you a horny pass, man. I'll give you a horny pass. Marlins Angels, we touched on this one a little bit. If anything, this might be the system that I really don't want to back today. Talking about the team coming out of cores. I do think there's going to be some, lesser runs in this game. Talk about the Marlins offense against Detmers. The Marlins have actually been surprisingly decent against left-handed pitching. A lot of that has had to do with Jorge Soler, Brian De La Cruz, Garrett Cooper even has been really good against lefties. So it makes sense. But coming out of cores, I guess you could say you can expect a little decrease in runs. But I'm really scared of Jorge Soler, man. I'm really scared of Jorge Soler, especially when, I know he's been one of the hottest hitters in the league right now. Coming into cores, if he played in cores every single day, we'd be millionaires. Or if he was even just a Rocky playing half of his game there, we'd be a millionaire. But talking about this game, I think Detmers pitches really well against this lineup. I do. And we see a total at 8 here after the Angels have also been really good in their series, which is why I know DeGen was talking about he was leaning the Marlins a little bit because the Angels were so good in that Red Sox series and everybody was on them. It was a pretty popular sharp spot. I think I fell victim to it one of the 3 times going to the Red Sox there. And I don't know, this just feels like a really weird spot because I don't want to back the Marlins and their bats to kind of bounce back in this game, but it seems like a game where you get two pitchers pitching well. So I'm good with that. System is a favorite of minus 200 or more on the road. Likes the team to win by well more than 3 runs. Okay, fair. 75% hit rate last 3 years. Okay, fair enough. I'll go head to head with it. I'm good. I'll take the plus 1.5. Yeah, don't like doing that, but just might have to because it conflicts with my system. No beef. But Houston Astros, Oakland Athletics. I hate it, dude, because I don't want to fade the Astros after their offense has been so atrocious. But I'll tell you what, something tells me that James Caprillion, who already has pitched well against this lineup, which is another reason why I'm probably not going to pull the trigger on this, but I think he no-hit them for like 5 innings in that other start. So I have something in me in the back of my head that's telling me the A's are going to keep this close, but I'm going to stay away from this one, to be honest with you. I'm a big Hunter Brown guy, as I think a lot of people are at this point. The A's offense in this spot, something's just telling me that the Astros are the coin stealers of the day. Or I guess technically the A's would be the ones stealing coins. Sounds like an under to me. Yeah, A's games haven't been going over. Their bats used to be, I guess at the beginning of the season, they're a real weapon, mostly against left-handed pitching. Yeah, I could probably did just see him recently. That's tough. Astros also system play. I mean, I guess. I would assume everybody against the A's is a system play. So yeah, Astros. What was the boost again? Astros, Mets, and who? Was it Fat Girl said that? Astros, Mets, and Brewers, right? Yeah, I'll fade probably 2 of those. Brewers, yeah, there you go. Breed love power trip. So we got an interesting game here. This is probably one of the more confusing game of the year. Cuddlebutt, we'll get to the squad ride in a little bit. Send Charlie the link. But Red Sox D-backs, that is an interesting game because I am a big believer at this current moment in Brandon Pfaadt, or big fader of Brandon Pfaadt, because especially in good matchups, like he has a home run problem. Let's call it what it is. He's given up a lot of barrels, a lot of isolated power. Are you scared the first kid in lefties? There you go. Our girl Gina Garland. Josh Bell under a run. I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that respectfully. But D-backs game, Brendan Pfaadt, especially in Arizona, and fill me in, chat on the hitting conditions in Arizona, but I can only assume it's one of the more decent ones on the slate. But Brandon Pfaadt against this Red Sox lineup, there's definitely something that tells me he's going to give up some tanks today. But Chris Sale, squad ride, at least Sox are cold. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. They're going against the guy who's going to supply the power for them. So especially a lot of the lefties, like if you want to square up and take some lefties, Devers, Yoshida, a lot of those guys too, if they're playing and healthy, this is a decent look, I think, to take some home run props. I want to take a stroll through some of these odds actually real quick. Sale fantasy score, interesting, Pat. Let me know. What's the deal with it. I haven't taken a look there. Yeah, I want to see some of the Red Sox home run odds. Those are kind of what's sticking out to me. Squad ride parlay, Leafs and Stars not winning cup in the next 20 years. That's hilarious. Yeah, shout out Rob Refsnyder. He is one of the more consistent bats in that lineup. Here we got some home run odds. Go down to Rafi Devers. Let me see what he's at. I guess he's the simple answer here. Plus 300. Tristan Casas is a little short. I can get down with that. That's a real power supply lefty right there to go against Pfaadt. Have no problem with that. Yeah, Yoshida. Yoshida, definitely a guy. Yeah, Refsnyder only gets lefties 100%. So there's a couple of guys here I think you could get away with targeting. So that'll be pretty nice there. So I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all, Dave. Yeah, I don't have a problem targeting some of these guys here. Duran has had a terrible series against the Angels. He could be due. Yeah. I don't know, man. With Duran, I mean, he's not a guy that I'm targeting for power, certainly, but I'm interested to see what Red Sox squares are up. Emmanuel Valdez. Jeez, that might be it right there. But I like Devers too. Dave Leafs was chirping you hard. He was. Oh, we got Big Dave. Big Dave up in here, man. Shelly, you want to come up?
Oh, why are you chirping Dave, man?
What Dave do? That's crazy.
What do you say, fuck 50?
What they say fuck 50 for? They said fuck the sharp, so I'm a sharp now?
That's
crazy.
wild. Hey.
Javon's out there putting people in body bags on a Friday. That's crazy, Javon.
Somebody's got to do it.
It's a Friday, bro. It's a weekend ahead. Javon's out here just
crazy.
ending careers. That's crazy.
Somebody's got to do it, man.
Somebody's got to take the trash out.
No crabs, man. Yeah, Dave's selling picks. Dave's got a notebook.
Where?
Dave's got a
notebook guy.
Bro, I need bread, so that's crazy. Hey.
But Javon, there is actually on Prize Picks an over 1.5 hits. In all seriousness.
Good.
Gray Rod is on the mound today.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So we got that Gray Rod, John Gray. That's kind of the only one that fits my system. And it's not by much. Gray Rod's up for 5.5 strikeouts. Thoughts on Gray Rod today?
I'm not gonna lie. I think Gray Rod gives up nukes in the first inning.
Okay. Say less.
So I'm on the Rangers.
Love that. Yeah. So no, dude, Chase, I'm so serious. This pitcher strikeout system that I kind of follow for these over 1.5 hits. I don't know if Prize Picks tapped in or what they're on, but there's super, super rare. And anytime we actually find, one of the plays that fits the two guys at 4.5 strikeouts or lower for both pitchers starting, that's when we take over. That's the system. But Prize Picks kind of cracked down and they started, not putting up every game. So like for example, the Jordan Lyles game and Patrick Corbin, that
Yeah.
might have 5 hits in the first inning. Like it's
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So
They'd never put that up, man. They wouldn't even think about it.
no, they wouldn't because it's just Corbin's at 4, Lyles at 3.5 for pitcher strikeouts. So that would be too good to be true. John Gray's at 4.5. Gray Rod is at 5.5. So Gray Rod's a little out of that, 4.5, 5 area that we like to teeter around for these over 1.5 hits for first inning. But fuck it, man. I think that the Rangers and the Orioles have enough batters at the top of the lineup that can hit.
I agree. They tapped him up the first time around, so I'm kind of expecting somewhat of the same.
Love that. Yeah, true. Didn't they get taken off the board last time we took this
system?
Yeah, or I forget what it was. It was definitely a Rangers. It might have been Rangers. Someone I forget.
Yeah, I think it was forget who it was. I think it was the Pirates series, but I don't
yes,
remember
it
which
was.
game it was.
It was, and they took it off. Yeah, no, both pitchers with the name Gray. Crazy.
Yeah, there we go. The Gray first inning hits. I'm down.
Yep. And look, go ahead and go to COD and look at what Pred maps 1 through 3 is at right now.
Oh, did he get a fat bump?
Oh, this is map 1. Go to map 1 through 3 and scroll all the way down. He's at the bottom. He's the blue. He's like the
Where's Pred at, man?
a little higher up. There you go.
Oh my god, it just cashed. Oh my god.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro. Oh my god, look at Q right now.
Oh my god.
Fellas,
Trent.
Trent heard Call of Duty and spawned in.
is Vickle on the board?
He is, bro. He is at 51.5.
Bro.
I just rolled out of bed, haven't sniffed the lab, just noticed there's only baseball on.
Yep.
This.
And I guess who's hosting stream today on the Only Baseball slate?
Are you hosting it, Chili?
I am.
Let's go.
I'm locked.
I'm proud of you.
I'm locked in.
Dude's in Cabo right now. On day 200 of the Super Goats. What are we doing now?
Dude, you should be in the ice bath with fucking that dude from yesterday right now.
I know, bro. That shit was actually at the table there for a bit.
100%.
Unreal, man. Unreal.
You know, he sold Corp Ass Wyatt Johnson and Corp Ass Tatum.
I bet, man.
You know, it was a good look. Sorry to interrupt. Robo under.
What do you have, 10, bro? Yeah,
Robo
that-
had 10. Eichel had 6, I think. So they combined for triple the square that I gave out.
Dude, your Welta came on and gave Robo and Pavelski goal scores yesterday.
I fucking bet.
Did he?
Legacy, man. Yeah. Came on and fed.
Oh, I didn't watch stream yesterday. Wow, that's sharp as shit.
Yeah. It's unreal.
Trent, you might want to go after Javon ends the broadcast. You might want to go watch the past broadcast because Javon caught a body.
Yeah, we see.
Oh, man, I need to see
Wait.
that shit.
You see any Blue Jays today, Trent?
I'm looking out in the backyard here. It's a beautiful day. No Blue Jays.
We need
Yes.
one donk out of you.
Always look this pale. There we go.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I bet Trent. Your Wi-Fi and
Yeah,
get
man.
the fuck out. Get out of here. Get out of here,
Yeah.
Martians.
Yeah. Shelly, what do we have on the side, man? We got to start crafting the squad right here.
What was your favorite play of the day? Definitely want that in there.
Probably the Rangers.
Wow, first 5 or
Probably should be first 5, but I don't like getting cute with the squad ride.
that's fair.
It's like taking straight up Rangers.
I mean, I'm always down to fade the Orioles. I'm not a fan of Gray Rod either. I think he's kind of overhyped.
You probably shouldn't say you're always down to fade the Orioles because that is a donation 90% of the time. But
I just hate this team. I mean, they I don't know,
yeah,
but I'm down to fade them.
That's fair. That's fair. Rangers was definitely one that I was eyeing pretty tightly. The Royals are going to go in the poll. I'd say it, but they're going to go in the poll. Trophy's going to go in the poll.
Where's the
Rockies plus 1.5, probably going to go in the poll. There it is. There's the trophy. Love how we're just talking about baseball with COD props up right now, bro.
I mean, that is a crazy bump. That's a 3-kill bump.
Is that a lot?
That's crazy.
Really?
Yes.
That's hilarious. Should already paid. I don't know. Is there anything standing out to you here? You have Trent back and he can give his donkey.
Anything standing out to me? Honestly, dude, the Padres against the Yankees. I don't know why the Padres would be favored in this game.
Yo, how about Snell yesterday? Let's go.
Dude, that shit is dead. Move on.
It's not dead. It's not dead.
Lodolo's pitching, right?
I'm not even worried about if Lodolo can come back in the next 2 weeks. Like, he's gonna hit. If he's out any longer, I'm gonna start worrying. Not worried yet.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I would take the Padres today, based off that line.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do that. I'm not gonna lie.
The fucking Padres, bro. Shit orgs.
Yeah, no way. Yeah, I understand they're shit org. So why are they favored against the Yankees?
The Yankees pitcher is making his debut.
Yeah, and Musgrove's 10 times better.
Kind of. It's a weird game.
Weird game.
That's a weird game.
Probably lean
Shane, what's weirder is you got Shane Bieber as a pick him.
Yeah.
Bieber's pretty mid anyways.
He is. I mean, the Guardians also suck, and they're facing a lefty who they
Dude,
really
the
suck
Guardians fucking suck, bro.
They blow.
You know who's selling the goat well? Fucking Jose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, they don't score many runs, but, like, when they do,
don't.
it's because of him.
At all.
Yeah.
You know who should be an auto fade from here moving forward?
Who?
The Phillies. Just anything Phillies. They need to be auto faded, bro. They're actually a piss org. They're a piss org.
They are a piss organization.
I don't know.
That is not wrong. So shit. All right. We'll start making the poll. Trent, do you have a donkey side? I know you said you're far from the lab, but what do we got?
Let me see the late nights.
The late.
You got the Marlins in LA. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Detmer's Day.
It is kind of Detmer's Day.
Happy Detmer's Day, fellas. Fruity knows.
To all who celebrate.
Ooh, give me late nights, Angels and Mariners.
Bro, we're making a parlay already.
At
Insane.
the Stros. Oh, yeah, give me Stros by 2. Caprillion.
Stros by 2. So 3 of the 4 favorites. I bet, man.
You got, dude, what a W late night slate.
Yeah, it actually is some pretty solid games late. Pretty solid games.
That looks like
Trent, thoughts on your Angels today?
it's Detmer's Day, Charlie.
What does that mean?
It's just a made up day.
Oh.
But
Thought it was like a national holiday.
I like them. They're playing good ball, dude. They just swept the Red Sox, which I literally thought they would get swept.
Yeah.
So Ohtani staying?
He might.
No,
No, dude, I actually am sad because, you know, that girl on Twitter that's sometimes in chat, her name's Swilly.
Yeah.
She goes to every Angels home game.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, I know that girl.
She gave her take on TikTok on what she thinks about whether or not Shohei's going to stay. And she said if she had a gun to her head, he's fucking gone, man.
Yeah, he's caked.
And that right there kind of was a little dagger in the heart hearing from her.
Yeah. Can see why.
But she said if they make the postseason, there's a significant better chance he stays.
I mean, yeah, I would assume so. They better make the postseason, man.
Dude, please put on sunscreen, man. You're looking awfully delectable.
Dude, I haven't set foot in the sun yet.
Okay, just don't come back like Larry the Lobster like last time. Are you gonna be home Sunday, by the way, to sweat out our Formula One play?
No, I'll be home. Monday.
Memorial Day Formula One?
Dude, no, Formula One. Me and Trent have the last leg of our prize picks, and it's
What's his name again? Lewis Hamilton?
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton over from 2.7 seconds on his first pit stop.
Dude,
So I'm gonna be there with a stopwatch at his first pit stop, trying to fucking see if my bet hit or not.
That's wild.
those guys are gonna be like the little pit crew from Cars, man.
Luigi.
God damn, man. All right, we gotta get down to business. We need squad
Yeah,
ride
sorry,
voting.
sorry.
Squad ride voting. Rangers money line, Josh. First one. We'll put the Angels money line in there. I'm cool with that. What else do we have here? You can put the Blue Jays money line. I think the Twins get shut out. Royals, put them into. Maybe you stick with those 4.
Yeah, I'm down for those 4.
Royals, Blue Jays, Angels, Rangers, and Rockies plus 1.5. Yes.
But what does this say? What does this say? Oh, I see. Yeah, I saw that one.
I bet.
Just a reminder, if you're tailing this, you should be locked up in federal prison, but go ahead and vote up on the play.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see some votes.
Guido. Yeah, that's what it is. See that? Take me away, officer.
What was that before? Hey, Brian De La Bonds is no longer De La Bonds.
Dude, he's like the best hitter in the league.
No, I don't want.
3
He
weeks.
doesn't deserve that nickname anymore.
When you take him once and he didn't hit.
Dude, I was on the airplane. I crafted up a personal secret little 4-geyser. So sharp. Snell K's, Franco fantasy score, Soto fantasy score, and De La Bonds. Sold it.
That's tough. Speaking of Franco fantasy score, you might want to take that today.
Trent, Pred got bumped up 3 kills.
Was that your COD nuke?
Yeah, he got bumped
Wow,
up 3 kills.
I tailed that.
No way.
Yeah,
Yeah, he got bumped up from 54.5 to 57.5,
no way.
which is like 3 kills is unheard of.
Cash it now. Cash it.
All right, it's 11. I don't want to fuck around too much longer with you guys.
All right.
Tune in to Surgical Stream. We're going to be crafting up some MLB smackaroonies.
All right, I'll tap in.
All right.
GG.
Sounds good. T-Math is coming. She actually is.
Oh my dude, you're gonna be bricked on stream. Unreal, man. Unreal. So I guess we can I guess it's about to end anyway. Squad Ride Rangers. Squad Ride Rangers. Looks like we're going with John Gray on the mound against Grayson Rodriguez today. All for it. That was definitely my favorite out of the bunch. Let's see some Rangers bangs. We fade the Rangers a lot. Glad to be on their side today. I know our man Brady in chat is super hyped because we're always on the other side, but today we ride with them. Yeah, see you guys in federal prison. Riding the Rangers today. Appreciate you guys coming, whether it was for the plays or for whatever else happened. Let's have a good little Friday. Let's make some bets. Make sure you stick around for Surgical Stream. I'll be hitting the lab and kind of circling back around with Chelly to talk some plays, add some squares into that. So let's get some dubs in chat. Stay around. Good luck to everybody. And let's get some Surgical Stream winners. Everybody bring the energy. Keep the energy. And no, don't spam Twitter comments. We already did enough. Leave it as is. Let's have some W's. Have a good Friday, everybody, and a good weekend. See you guys.